here we go. Take 2, UFC 300. I'm here in Vegas. The first try, my microphone literally died while I was recording. So now I'm just doing it off pure phone audio. I hope it sounds all right. But I'm gonna quickly run through the card and give my predictions. We just left the press conference a few hours ago. We got the weigh-ins tomorrow and then fight week on Saturday. If you guys need a way to watch the fights, look me up on Instagram or send me a message on Instagram or drop a comment and I'll get you a way to watch the fights. Dana, don't tell Dana, but okay. If you know, you know. All right, I'm gonna quickly run down the card. I'm gonna just run through the prelims pretty quick and just give the picks. And then for the couple last main fights, I'll give kind of a breakdown for them. So we're gonna start off with Deiveson Figueiredo versus Cody Garbrandt. I just think Deiveson. I just think Cody's doesn't have the chin, and you know, initially I would probably pick Cody if I didn't see that performance that Deiveson had against Rob Font and see how good he looked at 135. So yeah, I'm gonna go Deiveson. I think he's gonna be promising at this division, and I think he finishes Cody Garbrandt. Bobby Green versus Jim Miller. I'm sorry, everybody loves that Jim Miller has did 100, 200, and now 300. He's undefeated on the 100 level cards. He's undefeated on 100. He's undefeated on 200. Bobby Green wins. I'm sorry. I'm going Bobby Green. Jessica Andrade versus Marina Rodriguez. It's really hard for me to pick against Jessica Andrade unless she's facing somebody that's just, you know, incredibly well-rounded or a great grappler. If it's somebody that's going to strike with her at all, she's an absolute tank. And I just can't go against Jessica Andrade. Marina Rodriguez is very good, but I feel like she's going to strike, and I feel like she's going to get a rude awakening when she feels the power of that absolute tank, Jessica Andrade. Next, we're going to go Jalen Turner versus Moicano. I'm going to go Jalen Turner. I think that could be a good fight, but I'm going to go Jalen Turner. I think he's just a little bit more tested. Diego Lopez versus Sadiq Yusuf. I'm going to go Diego Lopez. Yeah, I'm going to go Diego Lopez. Holly Holm versus Kayla Harrison. This is one that I've seen a lot of people kind of, you know, shift towards, you know, upset alert. They think that, you know, Holly Holm could maybe do the same thing she did against Ronda. They think that, you know, Kayla Harrison hasn't fought anybody. The PFL's not legit. You know, she lost in the PFL. So it's hard for people to see that she is legit. And honestly, I would probably be in that same camp if this was prime Holly Holm. The version of Holly Holm that I've seen as of recently is just not promising enough for me to go against, you know, a younger, more active prospect who's so dominant in one factor of the game that Holly is not excelling in and never has excelled in. So I'm gonna go Kayla Harrison by ground and pound, maybe stoppage. Again, if this was younger Holly Holm, I'd be Holly Holm all day. I'd say she's gonna piece her up on the feet. She's gonna avoid the takedown. She's gonna hit her with a head kick. Holly Holm Part 2, put her in the Hall of Fame, legendary. Yeah, all of that. But she's a little bit older, and I'm just gonna go Kayla Harrison. I don't think she's gonna be able to stop the takedown. Next fight, my man Aljo versus Calvin Kattar. These are two guys I'm, you know, big fans of. I actually met Calvin a couple of years ago. Initially, I was thinking Aljamain is not, you know, as big of a 135er as a lot of people said. You know, yes, maybe his walk-around weight is pretty high, but he doesn't have amazing stats. He's not, you know, amazingly tall. He's not like O'Malley, where he's way taller than everybody at 135 and just has to move up. He's not like, you know, has amazing, you know, reach. At 145, he's just going to be an average-sized guy. So he's not going to be, you know, a big 145, or he's not going to be able to just impose his will just because he's at 145 now, because he never was really that at 135. He wasn't really hulking and, you know, just so bigger than everybody at 135. So that argument is kind of dead to me, but I do think he still finds a way to get it done. I just think that he's relentless in the wrestling. Calvin Kattar's boxing is incredible, but Calvin Kattar, I don't think Calvin Kattar is going to be able to one-punch Aljo, and I think as the fight goes on, I think eventually Aljo gets him down, and eventually Aljo by submission. Next fight, Yuri Prochazka versus Alexander Rakic. I actually have inside information on this fight. PSA. I'm going to put it on the screen here, the picture of me when I just ran into Yuri Prochazka a couple hours ago. Ladies and gentlemen, Yuri Prochazka, right after the press conference, full of UFC fans on the strip, was literally standing in front of T-Mobile Arena meditating like he's in a mosque. He had his hands in the air, down on his knees at one moment, looking up at the T-Mobile Arena, like meditating. I don't know, I mean, I guess he's foreshadowing the fight. This man is locked in. After seeing that, I know he's absolutely locked in. Everybody always says he's a savage. You know, he does, you know, strange stuff. It was actually very funny. I'm going to post that video on my shorts. So once I post this, my most recent YouTube short, go watch that, and it'll be the video of Yuri walking around the strip. He actually had a couple guys, like, looking kind of scared. They didn't want to ask him for a picture because he was so locked in, but I got my picture. So you'll see that. I'm going Yuri. He's locked in. I'm just going to say that. Bo Nickel versus Cody Brundage. I'm going to go Bo Nickel. The fans really turned on him. It's actually no fault of his own, but it's very funny at the press conference. He's getting booed because he's on the main card, as if he picked the card. I think the UFC kind of shot themselves in the foot trying to make him into a star, and then you put him too high on the card, and now everybody hates him. Turn him into a heel accidentally, and he's doesn't really seem like he's fit for that. He's, you know, more of the clean cut, you know, American Olympian, nice guy. I don't think he's fit for that. They kind of, you know, might have messed up his trajectory with that, but I still think he gets away with the win. Next is Charles Oliveira versus Arman Tsarukyan, and I'm getting Charles Oliveira with plus money. Give me that all day. Arman Tsarukyan is very good. If he's able to slow down the fight, I think Arman would have his best chance, but I think Charles is going to show him a firefight that he's never seen before. Charles is going to walk him down. Charles is going to press the action. Charles is going to absolutely attack him so much in those first 2 rounds that he's not going to be able to fend it off, and I'm going to go Charles. If it goes into those later rounds, the 3rd, 4th, and 5th, I think that's when Arman would want to start to take over, slow down the pace of the fight, like I said. But I think he hasn't seen anybody like Charles, and he hasn't seen anybody that can walk him down and be so aggressive like Charles. Even if Charles, you know, fakes or really gets dropped, and then he gets aggressive, and we know what he does then. I'm going Charles. Next fight, Justin Gaethje versus Max Holloway. This one is actually one that initially I was saying the same thing everybody else was saying. Why are they setting up Max for failure? Max could have been next for the 145 title. Why are they going to get Max hurt? He has the greatest chin of all time at 145. Why they want to get him knocked out finally? He's going to get hurt. Gaethje is the hardest puncher he's ever faced. But then I thought about it a little bit more. And I thought about that Dustin Poirier fight at 155. And I thought about the fact that Max was landing. Max kept it competitive, but Max would land 10 punches. Dustin lands 1 punch, and Dustin's 1 punch did more effect than those 10 punches that Max just landed. And I said, damn, Justin Gaethje hits just as hard, if not harder, than Dustin. This could be the same fight. But I remembered that Max actually brought this to my attention, that he took that fight on short notice. He's getting a full camp for this fight. He's actually trying to bulk up instead of just, bulk up in the weight room instead of just bulk up by eating, which I think that's what he kind of said he did last time. He actually put on some muscle this time. We saw it, on Instagram with the pictures that he's posted, and I actually saw it in person today. He did look bigger. And I think Gaethje might be taking him a little bit lightly. I saw in a press, I think the media scrum, where he said something about, yeah, Max is such a nice guy. I don't really want to knock him out. I'd rather just, leg kick finish him or something, just being a little bit dismissive of Max. And I'm like, I don't know, Justin. It seems like Justin Gaethje's mind is a little bit on the title picture still, and he's kind of thinking about Islam. He's kind of thinking about, Dustin Poirier possibly passing him up. He's thinking about maybe Arman Tsarukyan versus Charles' winner passing him up, and he's been talking about that a lot, tweeting about that a lot. Maybe it's Ali, but I'm gonna go Max. And I am going to say these are probably my 2 favorite fighters of this last generation, like the generation that kind of came up between like 2013 and 2016, like the Conor, the Eddie Alvarez, like that era, Dustin Poirier, of course, that era. These are my 2 favorite guys in that era. And it sucks, but it's going to be a great fight. They also raised the bonuses from the standard $50K to $300K for UFC 300. $300K for 300. These dudes are going to absolutely insane. This is going to be one of the best fights we've ever seen, because unlike the Poirier fight, we thought it was going to be an amazing rematch, and Poirier gets head kicked. Max is going to be able to withstand pretty much everything you hit him with, I think. So it's going to be a lasting, drag-out war. I think Max will get hurt. Maybe he gets dropped. But I'm going to go Max Holloway. Next fight, Weili Zhang versus Yan Xiaonan. I'm going to go Weili. Jamal Hill versus Alex Pereira. Guys, I'm sorry. I don't want to make this pick, and it hurts me to say it. But when I look at Alex Pereira's career, when I look at the Bruno Silva fight where he gets hurt by Bruno Silva, who just lost to Chris Weidman. MMA math doesn't work, but he's nowhere near his level. Alex pieces him up, but there is a moment where Alex gets hurt. The first Izzy fight, Alex gets hurt. The second Izzy fight, Alex gets put out. The Yuri fight, Alex gets hit quite a bit in the first round. There's never been a fight where he just clean comes in and just runs through his opponent. Well, except for Sean Strickland, because he wanted to just do that with no game plan in mind, and he just got knocked out. So excluding that, there's never been a fight where he just walks out unscathed. And Izzy, Yuri, Bruno Silva, I don't think any of those guys are as much of a one-punch threat as Jamal Hill. I think Jamal Hill is the most dangerous one-punch knockout threat that Alex Pereira has ever faced in the UFC. And Alex is getting a little bit older. He's getting up there in the upper 30s. I'm not saying he's chinny, but I'm going to go Yuri. Oh, fuck. Jesus Christ. What am I saying? I'm going to go... This is actually the first time I'm going to say this is my pick, but I hope my pick is wrong. I'm going to go Jamal Hill by knockout. I think he catches Alex. Yes, I will say, I do think Jamal Hill came back from that Achilles injury too quick, and that could play a factor. You know, he fights with that very, hands very low. He gets hit in every fight. I think he'll maybe be piecing Jamal up, just like the Izzy fight, just like that Izzy rematch. He's piecing him up. Izzy gets on that cage, throws a Hail Mary, puts him out. I think Jamal Hill can probably do something similar. I'm going to go Jamal Hill by knockout. I hope I'm wrong. Let me know, guys. What do you think of my picks? What are your picks? I hope y'all don't hear that. What do you think of my picks? What are your picks? Who's here in town for the fights? Hit me up. If you're going to be at the weigh-ins tomorrow or at the fights on Saturday, hit me up. Let me know. And also, if you need a way to watch the fights, make sure you lock in with me. Every single card, boxing, UFC, even WWE sometimes. When I'm feeling jazzy, I'll get you a stream. Let me know. Hit me up. Drop a comment. Drop a like. Subscribe, because I'm doing this for every single card, UFC, boxing, wrestling when I feel like it. So, yeah, thank you for watching. Appreciate you guys. Peace.